Dean, INSEAD faculty, distinguished guest, GEMBA class of 22, a very, very good afternoon and good morning to you from Singapore. I'm thrilled to be with you today to mark this important milestone in your professional lives. You've committed a lot of time and a lot of money to pursue this rigorous degree at the best business school in the world, all while you continue working during a once-in-a-generation dislocation. Not easy at all. And you should really be proud to be sitting here today, raring to get started on your next professional chapters. Now, first things first, who am I and why am I here, apart from the generous introduction from yours? A question Neil Bearden would have thrown me out of his class for asking and certainly for answering. I'm a fifth-generation Singapore-born Iraqi Jew, 44-year-old son, husband, father of three, lawyer turned retailer turned entrepreneur, and venture capital fund co-founder that spends a lot of time on community-based work. Ladies and gentlemen, sounds well packaged, doesn't it? A suitable, rounded, midway career point. Curriculum vitae magic in the madness of this here world. But nothing can be further from the truth, I assure you. You see, the journey to here, for me, has been a patchwork of rejection, bad luck, poor timing, Pyrrhic victories, false starts, ends and endings. And yes, thank God, some success sprinkled with blessings. And this was just the period after I graduated GEMBA. I mostly blame my LDP group for this. And this story is really what I'd like to share with you today. My own personal journey and uncertainty over the last decade, retold in the hope that some of my uncomfortable learnings will resonate with you in the coming months and years as you venture forth in your own careers post-GEMBA. Many of you being at a similar jump-off point I was at in my career in 2013. So here we go. First, embrace the unexpected. You can control effort, but you can rarely control outcomes. Heraclitus said, "No man ever steps in the same river twice, for it's not the same river, and he's not the same man." Change is constant, flexibility key. Let me give you an example from my own journey. I graduated GEMBA 2013. I was 37 years old, just shy of the 38-year-old average of your class, married with a 1-year-old, with another on the way. At the time, I was general manager of a very successful Asian luxury retail business listed on the Singapore Exchange. I wanted nothing more than to furiously climb the ranks of the organization and take a C-suite position that I felt I deserved. GEMBA and INSEAD were a means to that end, and so I applied. Well, something unexpected happened towards the end of the program, which literally changed the course of my life. I met at INSEAD in Fonty, Timothy Bovard at the Realizing Entrepreneurship Potential elective. I remember midway through the course, I phoned my wife and we had a 30-minute chat. It was a tearful chat, and that was really the crystallizing moment. We finally agreed on a very different path. And within a year, I had left the business and plunged our young family into the uncertainty of mid-aged entrepreneurism, completely unanticipated. So Tim, wherever you are, you can add me to your list of those that fell for your Jedi mind trick. Ladies and gentlemen, careful, calibrated planning required, but life throws us curveballs. And it is my prayer that each of us here will be aware enough to register those plays and nimble enough to explore the consequential ones. Whether climbing the corporate ladder, hoping to make a lateral move, or looking to break free as an entrepreneur, keep the eye out to the horizon and don't be afraid to engage with the unexpected. Or, as is encapsulated in one of the founding values of the school, be willing to experiment and innovate and ready to take risks and manage the results of our actions. Especially now, the post-COVID world is throwing up opportunities, many unforeseen prior to the pandemic. Graduating today, your cohort is in the perfect moment to capitalize on these opportunities in an altered world. Second, I would say find deep wells of patience because it will preserve your sanity as you progress your career. After leaving the business between 2015 and 2017, I was stuck in a kind of purgatory. I was intent on building an entrepreneurial path. I knew exactly what I didn't want to do, but I had no idea what I wanted to do. And so the chaos began. chasing down leads, meeting people, hundreds of conversations. I tried my hand at various models, various businesses. Time was running out, and I needed to set my course. I tried again and again, hoping something would stick. Nothing did. I couldn't see myself in any of these new ventures, and I just refused to commit. Finally, after about 3 years in the wilderness, I managed to identify an opportunity I felt strongly about, and then set about to build on the idea. One thing led to another, and this today is the venture debt fund that I co-founded and manage out of Singapore. And so, dear friends, I know this is exactly what you don't want to hear today: patience. In fact, I came across the most frustrating yet insightful quote that I thought I must share with you. Nature does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. From Lao Tzu. It's easy to preach patience and calm when the outcome is known. Not so when you're in the very center of the storm. But on hindsight, I would like to think that I would have approached things a little differently. Understandably, I was preoccupied with the destination, not the journey. I did not realize that it is a mistake to try to look too far ahead, that the chain of destiny can only be grasped one link at a time. Churchill's words. If I had to go through it again, especially with all the lessons learned during COVID, I would try to get more comfortable with the messy, mysterious process. I would slow time down and more fully appreciate the blessings around me. Family, friends, and hey, even the scary journey itself. The third learning I thought would be useful to share with you is to develop 2 careers. Now, this seems a little shocking at first. At least it was to me when I came across an article in 2017 titled "Why You Should Have at Least 2 Careers," published in the Business Review of some other business school that we shall not name today. The author had 4 careers: a corporate strategy professional, a US Navy Reserve officer, author, and record producer. The thrust of his message: 2 careers are better than 1, and that when you follow your curiosities, you will bring passion to your new careers, which will leave you more fulfilled. And by doing more than one job, you may end up doing all of them better. The author offered a few reasons for this. Subsidizing skills development. You learn something at one job that you can apply in the other. You make friends in different circles, in very different circles, thereby facilitating deeper and wider knowledge exchange. And discovering real innovations, identifying where different ideas interact, and more importantly, where they should interact. Without realizing it, in recent years, I embarked on a 2-career mindset, one in fund management and the other in faith-based community service. Not remunerated from the latter, nevertheless, the intensity, the time spent, and the outcomes achieved were as close to a full-time career as you could get. And I was able to cross-pollinate at many levels: financial literacy, stakeholder management, fundraising experience, bridging knowledge, and so on. Ladies and gentlemen, I encourage you to consider this, whether paid or not, whether corporate or community-based. Approaching this from a 2 careers mindset, being able to perform and contribute across 2 separate but potentially intersecting paths has brought a lot of purpose, direction, and meaning to my life. And I'm sure it can do the same for you. My last offering is on the topic of humility and kindness in success. I absolutely and deeply believe that each and every one of you will continue to meet with success in your own personal journeys. You are resilient, you are driven, and you are curious. And that's why you're here today. Armed with the knowledge you've accumulated in your lives and careers, and now with the sword and the shield of a GEMBA degree, coupled with your super capable INSEAD classmates and network, bet on yourselves to take next steps with confidence. You know, one of the most powerful memories I have from my time at INSEAD is not actually the learning experience, sorry Uz, but about the power of the human spirit. In a very sad episode, GEMBA'13 came together to fund a bursary for the young child of a course mate that passed away suddenly during our course, a bursary the class still continues to support. I know you must have similar stories of how you came together as a class in the aid of some pursuit of an ideal. And continue on our respective journeys. Let's our human setting of by extending a help to those that need it. to continue to think and care about the people who come after us, our younger colleagues, the next generation, people dislocated by COVID, sharing opportunities where we find them, connecting individuals where we can. After all, business as a force for good. Congratulations once again to the GEMBA class of 22 and to all your much relieved family members who I'm sure also feel like they're graduating today. I truly wish you the very best on your journey ahead and on whichever path life takes you on. And on that note, allow me to end by leaving you with a thought taken from the Ethics of Our Fathers, the nearly 2,000-year-old Judaic book of wisdom that I hope you'll draw inspiration from. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? And if I am for myself alone, then what am I? And if not now, when? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ben, for your inspiring words. He presented in a very deep way, so I really hope that you as graduates can take some of the advice of someone who has progressed, what is it now, 8 years out, and use this as your inspiration for the future. Thank you very much, Ben, for being with us today. Thank you again.